Well, today starts the beginning of our journey to the Outer Banks.
The Outer Banks is a really cool place. Not too many people travel there, but it is very popular at the same time. And the last time we were there, we were in the van. We only stayed at one location, so this time we're excited because we are staying at 3 different campsites and we have our truck, so we can really go explore each of the different areas and see which one we like best.
We're headed to the banks.
I like that, to the banks.
Down your road and past your gates, keep your eyes on the horizon. I was looking to belong when I'd already found my home. Won't be long, I'm there before the setting sun, for you to fall into my arms, a place I call my home. I was looking to belong when I already found my home.
Okay, you can keep coming straight this way. Watch your mirror. Just keep coming straight this way, towards me. See, by doing this, you're not cutting the corner, right? So keep coming straight. Okay, turn passenger now. Very, very slow. Yeah, let's crank it right, but go really slow because we're very close up top here. Keep going. That was really tight. I think if, oh man, we're clear. Keep coming. Yeah, that was super tight. Wow. Take this nice and wide. Yeah, very tight park. So here you can see the pull right is moved back a good 12 inches, keeping this corner of the cab away from this. If we didn't have that sliding back, that would be a lot tighter, and I don't think we would hit on this particular turn. But you know, this isn't even that sharp of a turn, and these are the types of turns that you have to deal with in even just RV parks. It's got the pull right moved back about 50%, so it's right in the middle. And there to there that's probably even more than 12 inches, maybe 16 inches. I'd say that gap there is maybe like 22 inches, roughly 20 inches. So we'd be looking pretty tight just in an RV park like this without a sliding hitch, with our big wide fifth wheel and this short 6'4" bed in these Rams. The Oaks at Point South, it's such an unusual name, but what a great little RV park. What a great little stop.
Yeah, we really enjoyed this park, and so we stayed here, what, like 8 days? We're already excited for next time to spend more time, because this area has tons of little cities that are beautiful.
After a quarter of a mile.
And we didn't get to explore any of them, like Beaufort, for example.
So the travel day today is roughly 7 hours long and 350 miles. It's a pretty decent one. We need to stop by a Walmart to pick up some groceries before we get to the Outer Banks.
It didn't look like there would be a ton more just convenience style grocery stores, which wouldn't be a terrible thing to use, but I'd rather just get what I want on the way in so that I don't need to worry about missing some certain items that we like to have.
Doggos are still loving their space back there, their little apartment on wheels. No, we're going to be exiting. So this is the second travel day in a row that we are really getting hit with big accidents, all lane closing type of accidents.
Yeah. And this is like we're in our first hour on the road too. Just morning setback.
So the mistake we made last time we were in this situation was we decided to stand true to the route and slowly make our way through the crash. So with this one, we're gonna opt to go around and
Bypass.
go completely around it, because the tricky thing here is there's a big long bridge and I don't want to get stuck where there's nowhere to exit, to turn around, and we're just gonna maybe take the long way around the Lake Marion.
We're gonna take the scenic route.
So far in our East Coast journey, I forgot how treacherous these roads and highways. I think there's just so many more people over here on the East Coast. You know, I can't remember ever running into this out west.
It's definitely, in our current track record, we're definitely getting more accidents on the East Coast.
Yeah, this is such a mess. Like, people are doing U-turns and nobody knows which way to go. It's...
That big semi-truck just whipped a UE.
Yeah, I think we might want to go the other way maybe. I don't know. It seems like we just can't win. We just can't win. You know, these big 3-lane or all-lane closures really don't leave you a lot of options, and I think we're once bitten, twice shy with getting stuck on the highway last time for multiple hours, just stand still. And, you know, sometimes it's better just to drive around it.
I mean, sometimes it does feel better to just be moving, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. This is a really weird situation because we don't know if the accident was right before the bridge, right after the bridge. We don't know where it's reopening. They had just a vague detour sign. If it says detour up here, babe, then we know we made the right call. But like I said, I have a feeling they just put one detour sign and like you figure it out from there. But the bottom line is we're taking a couple country roads. It's going to be an extra 40 miles of country driving, but at least we know that we're headed in the right direction.
And this is why every single travel day, I just try to leave as early as possible because stuff comes up.
Good thing we don't have to catch the ferry today.
Yes, that would be so stressful.
Well, it always takes a little longer to stop than you would think. Like, it's always supposed to be just a quick on-off bathroom, fuel up, and then the pump doesn't work. Then you got to go inside, stand in line.
I feel like this entire morning has been in slow motion.
Yeah. What are we, like 10 miles from the campsite?
I know, and it's like 3 hours later.
We're still on the detour. And we're going to Walmart right now to go grocery shopping.
Our first ETA was like 4 o'clock, and now it's like 7:30. Don't ask me how.
We never love to do these big kind of grocery stops or really any stops on travel days, especially when we have 350 miles to go. But we kind of found ourselves in Yemassee where it was in between a bunch of grocery stores. I think the closest grocery store is about 25, 30 minutes away. And, you know, we had a couple days that we went out, once to Charleston, once to Savannah, and trying to squeeze groceries in on those big excursion days was just a little too tough. So here we are shopping, and, you know, of course we go to our next stop, which is the Outer Banks, even more remote, and we're not even sure what's going to be out there for groceries. So here we are. here. So these rear living fifth wheels don't have a ton of accessibility downstairs, but the bathroom and upstairs is easy to use, and we can still put some stuff in our fridge.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
There you go.
So in our model, the fridge actually comes up to the island and opens up really nice, which is pretty slick. And that way we can still use the fridge. But the freezer, on the other hand, I'd have to bump the slide out, which, you know, is not a huge deal, but I always want to check and see how level the truck is, because if we're really unlevel for some reason, you know, I would never want to put my slide out, even though we're not putting any weight on it per se, but still with it going in and out, I like to be as level as possible. I would hate to have a slide issue on the road, and we haven't in 5 years, so we're gonna try to keep it that way. Let's see, what did Chris get? I am not good at unpacking the fridge.
I suggest
These little flatbreads look good.
I know. Get these eggs in where the eggs normally go.
Are these freezer or fridge?
They're fridge, but I plan on freezing some for you.
Yeah, if you help me with this would go a lot faster.
Yeah, get those eggs in place because those need to go in, and then you could just shove.
Just bump the slide out just enough to hopefully open that up. Plop in some berries. Wait. Okay, Louis. Wait. Pa. Pa. Louis, give me pa.
He can't reach you.
Pa. Give me a little pa.
Yeah.
Good boy. You're a good boy, Louis. June, give me pa. Pa. June, pa. Pa. Come on, pa. Good girl. Yep, stops on travel days always add up.
Man.
What's our final route looking like?
Let's just say it took us 5 hours to get 100 miles
Yeah.
as a result of that accident. Okay, tow haul, exhaust brake, lights are on, camera's on. Is this on?
Yep.
Okay. Is the co-pilot ready?
Yep.
Okay, we're all ready.
Well, extremely long travel day for us, but we're a half-mile away. We finally made it, almost home free, to our Harvest House church parking lot.
We are pushing 11 hours of travel.
Yeah, long day.
Everybody's ready to get out of the truck.
The dogs just saw a cat outside. So we made it to our Harvest House for the night. We are going to probably turn in early after running to the grocery store, and we have to get up pretty early, get on our way to the ferry terminal, which is about an hour from here. All right, say goodnight, puppies. Say goodnight, Junebug. Say goodnight.
Good night! Good night!
pretty good stay overnight, I would say.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a great location. The grocery stores, there's food for people that like to get food. There's grass. It feels safe. It was a nice spot.
We got up this morning at 6 o'clock. It's now 7:30. We're about ready to take the dogs out for their final little walk and to kind of pack up the RV and get heading to the Cedar Island Ferry.
To the banks.
Take a quick look, make sure everything looks good overnight. We're still latched, plugged in, looking good.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that was a tight turn out of there. It looked like the RV was getting close to the cab of the truck.
Yeah.
All right, we show arrival time at the ferry, 9:15. Our departure time, or our, we need to be there by 10, so...
We need to be there by 10, so...
We only have a 45-minute cushion, which isn't the best. So almost 5 years to the day, Chris and I made this drive in our Sprinter van back in 2019 as we hit the Outer Banks.
5 years ago. So much has changed since then. But I'm really excited to like redo it because I feel like we're just better at traveling now, right?
Yeah, we did the Outer Banks in, I want to say, 2 or 3 days, and now we're going to do it in like 8 days.
It was way too short.
Yeah, much better. So the Cedar Island to Ocracoke Island ferry cost us about $45 for our truck and 34-foot fifth wheel. I think it's just over 2 hours long, and I did read that you can bring the dogs on to the upper deck. So we're kind of excited for the portion of this ferry since it's a shorter one. We actually have a lot of ferries planned this summer for our truck and RV and our dogs, and the longest one we have is about 5 to 6 hours, if you can guess where that one is. We did book reservations for this ferry a couple months ago, and I think you can just sit and wait for the ferry to get a spot on board, but we did not want to come all this way and risk not having a spot for our RV. We're about 22 miles from the Cedar Island Ferry, and this is where it really kind of starts to get remote. We're out of the town areas, and it really just turns into this beautiful kind of marshland.
It's really fun to drive in. It's so beautiful. It's like every turn brings something different. And today is especially nice because it's super sunny, the weather is very pleasant, and that's going to make for a fun ferry ride as well.
And for those of you that are not a Harvest Host member, where we stayed last night, there's also a campground called Cedar Creek Campground, which is about 15 miles from the ferry. I did look into that. I think it was around $50 a night. And, you know, there's not a lot of options out here, so I don't think it's got a ton of amenities, but it's a good spot to stage for the ferry. And there's actually an RV park just a mile from the ferry itself. So we just passed it. It looked like it only had, half a dozen or a couple dozen spots, I mean. And I think you can even stay really close to the ferry up here. Yeah, on the right, there's RV camping right here. And I think I read about that because some people get off the ferry late and there's a little campground right there.
Yeah.
So that's an easy one to... Okay, so we got without reservations and with reservations.
Good, okay.
Feels good to be in the lane with reservations.
I'm so glad that we do have reservations.
Windy out here.
It's windy. Watch your doors. Okay, she said she's gonna put us in lane number 4, which is this one with the RVs. We're already lined up for that. And then she said that they start loading 10:15, which makes sense. It departs at 10:30.
Which means we got an hour and 15 minutes. We are such better travelers in 2024 than we were in 2019.
Yes, we are early. We have reservations.
If you guys would have seen us traveling in our early days in the van before we started recording, we had no idea what we were doing, which is probably when we should have been recording.
We were wild, wild west. Every day we were just going from the hip. And we did that for even into like some of the travel trailer days, but the van, like we really didn't have the experience to like feel confident. But it was fun. That's what life's all about, right?
Yep.
Look at these RVers checking out the other RV.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're gonna make some buddies with the RVers.
Canadians.
Oh yeah, Ontario. They're gonna think I'm Canadian.
You are Canadian. So now that we got to the ferry, you can actually see the campground right here on site is as close as you can get. I can't remember the cost, but it looks very, very empty here, and I would imagine, this would be a good spot to stay and stage so you don't miss your ferry ride. First glimpse of the dunes. Looking pretty. About the receding, right? You'll be gentle. They run a tight ship. It's 10:15. We just got the announcement for everybody to get back to their vehicles and enjoy the ride.
No lollygagging. We don't want to be waiting on anybody. I have a feeling they're going to load the RVs on first. What do you think?
Oof, I have no idea. First or last. If you ain't first, you're last.
I know.
Ricky Bobby.
Okay.
So the plan is to get off of the ferry and go to this public parking lot right as you exit off the ferry. And I know it's big and open and it's boat parking, and I think it's going to work out well. We're going to stop, we're going to get the dogs out, and we're going to go get lunch.
Yeah, and it's always fun to explore the second you get into a new city, right? Like, that's just fun. And we also kind of have to do that because we can't check into our campground until 3. So, double reason.
It's kind of weird. They're doing like some cars, and then they're doing some RVs, and then some cars, and
they are a well-oiled machine, and they have a system down, and we'll probably never understand it.
That's true.
But it all orchestrates perfectly.
Just glad we're getting on.
He's a professional. He was cool as a cucumber, doing this to people.
Yeah. Traffic controller. I think I read on the ferries it's 13'6".
I can see it right there.
Yeah.
What are we?
We're like 13'5".
Oh my god. Look at those two. Are they talking about us?
They look like they're looking at us.
Are they holding traffic behind us? Oh,
All right, we got the wave ahead. That is time.
Here's my front.
Oh yeah, that's tight. Oh, she just got a good job, ma'am. Good job towing in
sure
there.
They all start sweating once they see a woman driving.
Oh, they were talking. They're like, oh man, did she just buy this off the dealer lot? Yeah, that was really exciting. It was really tight.
It's a little nerve-wracking. Like, I took 1 second to check my mirrors, and the first guide did not like that. He told me, do not take my eyes off of him. And so I trusted him. He's a professional. He knows what he's doing. But, you know, that's weird to drive your RV and not check your mirrors, because part of being in the truckers club and safe driving is constantly scanning your surroundings and always checking your mirrors and knowing exactly what is to every degree around you. So that was the hardest part, was just like locking in on this guy and listening to him.
Exciting. Good job, babe.
Thank you.
Our dually hips, the RV, everything, I'd say we're probably 8 inches from the wall. Tight.
Hopefully you didn't leave the water running in there, because you can't get in there right now. It is sealed up tight.
Yeah, I just missed the horn honk on the video, but the horn went off and we left like 2 seconds later.
The horn be honking.
Yeah, this could be a comfy ride.
We should just sit in here. It's actually, just getting the dogs out of here is going to be tight with these doors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, luckily that one's not too bad.
I'll probably have to get out, take a restroom break, but I think we should just sit in here.
Mm-hmm.
Got everything we need in here. This is our home.
How cool is it you can take 50 feet and 25,000 pounds and just put it on a big old boat and just take it across the ocean?
It's like we're a submarine above water.
I don't know about that analogy.
We are a submarine above water, carving over the ocean right now.
It is interesting how kind of smooth, like flat and smooth this is.
No seasickness at all on this one.
No, it's very flat. Extremely flat.
Just smooth, slicker than butter.
And I don't know if that's just the ocean part that we're on, or if it's the big flat boat, the ferry.
Or the speed, because it feels like we're going like 8 miles an hour. How fast do you feel we're going?
I don't know. Yeah, not too fast, 10, 15.
It is kind of mess with my head if you like look around quickly though.
Yeah, that's because
you gotta lock in on one thing.
You drive the truck, you stop, and your brain thinks, okay, I'm stopped, and then all of a sudden the whole thing is moving.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Look at the puppies back there.
Calm.
They are loving their new Basenji den. Love it.
They're so spoiled.
Lots of space. Here's a top-down view of how tight we were.
You never really know when it's coming, but you better believe you'll know when it's there. True story. I must have been searching, though I wasn't looking for much. Checking out the scene, wasn't trying to get my numbers up. You know I keep it cool. I prefer to stay in the cut. Don't want no attention on me when I'm trying to shake the blues up off me. But then I saw your face, it caused my heart to race. Girl, you're looking like $1 million. Something about the way you strut your stuff. Oh, girl, you're fine as you wanna.
Ever wonder where the name Irene Iron Travels comes from? It's actually named after my online fitness and nutrition coaching business, Irene Iron Fitness. I help people move better, feel better, and eat better with strength training and real food. No fad diets, no harsh restrictions, no counting calories, and absolutely no processed food in a package. If you want to get stronger and feel better at any age, check the description below for the links with my new client special, or join in on our next and upcoming group challenge.